Alright, prologue time. Winter 1864. In order to find my father with whom I lost contact, I, Chizuru Yukimura, visited Kyo. In that city, I bore witness to a horrifying secret hidden within a group called the Shinsengumi, the Fury, a creature with white hair and crimson eyes. Luckily, I was safe in the vicious clutches of the Furies by the members of the Shinsengumi. Because I had discovered the Shinsengumi secrets, it was proposed that I live with the Shinsengumi men, since they were also searching for my father. I'd heard rumors, well, whispers really, that the Shinsengumi were little more than a bunch of crooked ronin, but my life with them proved otherwise. Their commitment to protect the safety of Kyo made them the last of a dying breed, true samurai. It set them apart from those who only craved power. Amongst the men was Heisuke, who always seemed to have my back. Heisuke was the youngest captain, and he led the 8th Division. Since the two of us were closer in age than the other captains, we became quite close. However, in order to become a member of the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, he had decided to leave the Shinsengumi. This faction, the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, was led by a man named Kashitaro Ito. The Abano Koji incident was spurred on by both the Satsuma domain and their demon affiliates, and Heisuke had suffered a life-threatening injury. Then he was forced to drink the water of life, transforming him into a fury. At the time, the fate of the shogunate was threatened by the Sacho, which later culminated in an inevitable battle for the control of the nation. Thus began the Battle of Toba Fushimi. Heisuke served as a member of the Shinsengumi's Fury Corps during his campaign, but one thing became clear: he was more fury than man now. Unfortunately, the battle ended in favor of the Sacho, and the Shinsengumi were driven from Kyo. They set sail for Edo in hope of a new start. Alright, back in Edo. Toto or not Toto is the achievement to start his route? Really? Oh god. They had too much fun with the achievement names. After we had returned to Edo, the Shinsengumi had reconvened in Hanamoto's mansion, fashioning a new headquarters from the ashes of the old regime. These days, however, it was seldom that one of the captains wouldn't find themselves within its halls. Oh god. Hijikata-san had been filling in as the acting chief in Kondo-san's stead, the latter of whom had suffered a serious gunshot wound, so he often met with shogunate leaders. Okita's tuberculosis was scarcely improving, and so he was bedridden in the hopes of recovering quickly. Nagakura and Harada were both often found taking new recruits out into the Edo nightlife, enticing them with alcohol and adventure before joining our ranks. Although everyone else had carved a niche for themselves in our new surroundings, the members of the Fury Corps were not so lucky. Rather, they were forced to remain within the compounds as a measure of safety for all of us. I had a feeling that such an order wouldn't sit well with them, and it was only a matter of time until their discontent manifested into something worse. I tried my best to keep from jumping to conclusions, but I had a lingering suspicion that the Fury Corps, under Sanasen's command, was just biding their time. I had to wonder, Was I imagining things? Or was this simply the calm before the inevitable storm? Inevitable. For now, the question was left unanswered. On one such day,
雪村君、少々よろしいですか?
What do you want, son? What is it? Sana-san has snuck up on me, and in my surprise, I muttered a timid answer.
確か君の家は江戸の外れにあるのでしたね。よろしければ私を案内してはくれませんか?
My house?
高堂さんは江戸にいた頃から幕府の密命で落ち水の研究を行っていたと聞きます。もしかすると君の家に羅刹に関する資料が隠してあるかもしれませんからね。
Even in this state, Sana-san is a very smart man. Oh, come to think of it, if this led to an opportunity to make progress with suppressing the bloodlust of the Furies, or even being able to reverse the effects entirely, then Heisuke would no longer have to suffer. But could I truly take Sana-san's word for it? 9 times out of 10, yes. Ever since our return to Edo, he had been acting very conspicuously. My immediate reaction to his suggestion was to cautiously eye what his intentions may have been.
雪村君、どうしたのです?
Well, firstly, I need to get approval from Hijikata-san to exit the premises.
本人がここにいればすぐに確認を取るのですがね。
He so adamantly thinks that that's the case anyway.
土方君は連日の会議でなかなか屯所へ戻ってこないと聞いています。それに落ち水の毒を消す方法があるのなら一刻も早く手に入れたいでしょう。その方法を見つけ出せば東堂君を苦しみから解き放つことができるのですから。
Oh, so now are you fully aware that he's suffering? Sana-san's lips smacked as he raised a valid argument. Nothing would make me happier than being able to save Heisuke, as well as all the others in the Fury Corps, from the pain of their condition. But I had to listen to my gut instinct, which in this moment was a reluctance to travel with Sana-san alone.
どうかしましたか? 悩むことではないと思いますが。
Well,
江戸の街並みも4年前と随分変わっちまったからな。途中で迷っちまうんじゃねえかって不安がってるんだろう。
that voice.
だよな、千鶴。
Heisuke! Wait, when did you get here?
それはついさっきから。三男さんがやけに熱心に話してるから出て行きにくくてさ。
Huh? Giddy? Giddy to describe Son-san? Heisuke took pleasure in ribbing his comrade, then turned and spoke with a more serious tone.
つうことで、俺も一緒に行っていいか、三男さ
ん。Phone did a noise.
君がですか?
俺、この間江戸に来た時、高堂さんの診療所を訪ねてるから道案内できるしさ。
I believe Heisuke was referring to his most recent trip to gather more recruits. He must have dropped by my house in search of any trace of father returning. That was like 3 years ago. That's recent, apparently. What intrigued me was that his most recent trip hadn't taken place the other day, as he suggested. Which led me to believe that he said it only to convince Sano-san on letting him join our group.
なるほど。ではせっかくですし、ご案内願いましょうか。
おう、任せてくれよ。そんじゃ行こうぜ、千鶴。支度してこいよ。
Finally, we get to hear the name Chizuru again. Thank you, Heisuke. Heisuke possessed a charming kindness that made it impossible for me not to smile in return.